How's the offensive line? Like, obviously, the last couple of games have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
How has that group gotten better over the season?
Yeah, certainly in pass protection and run blocking, we've kind of elevated both of them. This past game really elevated our run game, which is what we'd been looking for to open up our pass game more. And so going into this week, we're trying to wash it all away, not get too high, not get too low, and kind of carry what we did into this next game.
What about you? Because obviously this season has been you've started a lot, which is the first time kind of since you've been here. How are you feeling, and how have you personally gotten better?
Yeah, whirlwind. I think my run game has kind of developed over the last 6 or 7 games. I think it was different going week 1 from never having gone against a different person than the people on the team and then transitioning that into other people. So just trying to figure out how to monitor film and kind of figure out what they're going to do versus the guys that I know are going to do stuff.
How much do you think a consistent run game raises the ceiling of this offense, and what did you think about Bryson Washington's performance over the weekend?
I think a good run game elevates this offense tenfold. Being able to run the ball is amazing, and it really opens up that pass game because they're going to have to load the box in, and then we're going to be able to do fake runs like RPOs, PROs, and stuff like that, be able to get the ball more people, more places. And then B-Wash, that kid ran like his hair was on fire. It was amazing to watch. It was great to see. Love the way that kid runs the ball.
Coach Aranda mentioned that y'all kind of added some wide zone plays back over the bye. How much did that help y'all last weekend?
Yeah, I think our wide zone plays really hit well. A lot of those were explosive. We didn't have a kind of an issue because a lot of us were still wide zone guys from Eric Mateos and the Jeff Grimes era. So we kind of knew some techniques and that we could transition over, but those plays hit. Everyone thought we were going to run it up the gut, and we put it out to the side and it hit.
Have you seen Sydney kind of develop at left tackle, and how has that relationship grown over the last couple weeks that he started there?
Yeah, I think it was BYU game. He came in towards the end to play left tackle for me, and then we had the Iowa State game in the bye week, so we really gotten that connection. I'd played a lot of ball with Alvin, and so I knew kind of what he was thinking, and trying to get that chemistry with Sydney was a little different at first, but we got it going, and we're playing really well together right now.
Mm-hmm. Offensively, probably most complete performance on Saturday. Just what does it take to carry that over week to week to week?
I think not focusing on it, like not getting too high on it, kind of wiping it clean and saying we've got a different opponent, they're doing different things, and we have to play our best ball again this week to win.
To build off that, y'all have come close so many times this year. Now you have a win you can point toward. It's tangible. How much positive momentum does that carry over into this week?
I think it brings a lot of positive momentum. The guys have really seen what the full offense can do. We put up something like 550 total yards. That's something that we hadn't seen in a really long time here, and so we're really excited to see if we can do that again, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Yesterday, Coach Aranda was saying that now's not the time to recline, is what he said. It's kind of to double down a little bit. What's been kind of the main focus early on in this week of practice?
This week we're trying to do the run game stuff. In the past game, they had a lot of exotic pressures that they were bringing on early in the season, but they've simplified it. So today we kind of went over some blitz cards, went over the run game a lot, and tomorrow we'll transition to critical downs.
I guess kind of what do you see from Oklahoma State, and you kind of mentioned it, but what they bring versus what you've seen in the past?
I think what they bring, biggest thing of all, is that their 2 interior guys are heavier than we've seen all season. I think that not that it's going to challenge us, but that it's going to be a different playing style. I think one of their guys is 345, the other one's 330. That's a little different than we've seen. We've seen quicker guys, shorter guys, and so we're going to have a little bit of a interesting time seeing how that plays out.
And then when you get a win like you did on Saturday, just what does that do for the confidence of this team when you had been so close, so many times?
It's a breather, but all the other ones are still hurting. I think that's what's keeping us going right now, is that we know how good our record could be right now, but it's not. The ball just flipped the other way, and so we're going to try and correct our record as best we can.
With the homecoming matchup, wearing the Sailor Bear helmets, is that something y'all look forward to?
Oh, yeah. Cool. We, as the players, we love the Sailor Bears, especially guys that have been here. We love wearing Sailor Bear. We know what it means to this community, what it means to this school, and we love wearing it on our heads, and a lot of us will take the stickers home after the game.
How do you kind of build on the performance that y'all had in that Tech game, and what's been the focus early on in practice this week?
The focus has been starting fast and finishing strong. In practice, starting fast with our tempo period, then the end of practice with competition, then with our last team period, finishing fast. I feel like that's the makings to be a good defense, to be a great defense, and we need to keep building and stacking days to do that.
Coach Aranda mentioned during the bye week that y'all really simplified some things, and y'all had the best tackling game of the season against Tech. What kind of went into that in practice, and how can y'all carry that forward?
Just like the intentionality, like a few games this year we was bad at tackling, and just seeing that and knowing that we're better than that and the standard here is way better than what we showed, we came into the game saying we're going to be a sound tackling team and make plays on defense. So it's good to see.
How do you manage kind of all the good things that came out of the Tech game with not kind of letting it go to your head, if that makes sense? How do you manage that, everything?
Celebrate the win, but then Monday getting back straight to the drawing board. That was last week. Now we got a new opponent. So we just trying to focus on going 1-0, and hopefully by the end of the year that does us justice. So
For you to be back close to 100%, how does that feel for you personally?
it feel great. It feel great to be close back to 100%. Just battling through. It was tough, but glad to see that I'm on the tail end of injury, so I'm happy.
Being able to get the win like you did on Saturday, just kind of what's that do for y'all's confidence when y'all had been so close but kind of let some slip away? Just finally getting that, what's that do for you guys moving forward?
It's for sure a confidence booster. I mean, getting that type of win in their home stadium for their homecoming, it was a great win. But it just showed us that, like, we're a pretty good team. We're a great team, and all we need to do is be intentional throughout the week, stack days, and when we do that, hopefully the results is a W on Saturday.
What have you seen from Oklahoma State? What challenges do they present to you?
Well, they have Ollie Gordon. They got a couple of wide receivers that can run routes, but long as we play a sound defense, a lineman assigned defense, we should be good.
Caden's kind of dealt with some injuries as well. When he got that pick to kind of seal the game late, how cool was that to see?
It was cool to see. Caden, he a dog, man. He done been through so much, and just to see him have that breakthrough like that, man, it was a joy to see. So it was pretty good.
You and he have you came in together and have kind of burst onto the scene together. What is your relationship like, and what does Caden mean to the defensive backs overall?
I love Caden. Caden, the guy that's gonna compete, show energy all the time. Everybody feeds off of it, and just having him in that DB room, having him in the corners room, in that defense, it's just a blessing. You see him flying around. You see that he cares. You see that he's very intentional with what he do. So it's great.
Do you think that his performance against Tech can kind of maybe get rid of some of the early season struggles he had?
Oh, yeah. Caden's the guy that's going to bounce back. He don't let things stick to his head for a very long time. Bad play happened, okay, I got you on the next one now. He's that type of guy. And just having that type of guy on defense, I mean, he having players say, like, just flush it, like, on to the next, make your next play. So, yeah.
You mentioned that, the win kind of showed you guys, like, hey, we're a pretty good team, and I mean, the record may not really be indicative of how good this team is with a few kind of fluky plays, I guess. Just like, do you think Saturday's performance was a little more indicative of what this team is?
I feel like Saturday performance is like a great showing of what this team is. We're a winning team. No matter what the record says, no matter what has happened, we feel like we're a winning team, and we just want to show that on Saturdays and just keep progressing.